Order. I call Marama Fox. 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I think it's unfortunate that I've only got 5 minutes to speak because there is so much to talk about in response to this report, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that this debate has come to the House and the wisdom of the previous speaker to allow us to have this debate at this time. I want to start, I've got 3 papers here and a Facebook feed, because there are whānau sitting at home watching this, who've been sending me messages saying, Marama, we need to do more. And what they're saying to me is that actually this is not just a whole of government approach that needs to happen. This is not just all on the shoulders of our minister, but this is on the shoulders of this nation. And Derek Ball was correct. It's our shame of this country, because there is a group of people who have historical claims of abuse while in state care, 900 and more historical claims still to be listened to. So I spoke, I've had messages here from Mate Tangitu, who is a voluntary worker for the advocacy group known as Te Rōpū Haurongo in Ngāti Awa. And they sit in Te Kōti Rangatahi and provide advocacy and support. And she's given me her top 5 priorities, and I'd like to share them with you. Acceptance of why this is happening to our tamariki and mukapuna. Our whānau need to also step up. Education. And we get trapped into these cycles of abuse, and they continue from parent to child and parent to child. And that education will help us get out of that. Counselling and other services need to be implemented because mothers have been victims, is what she's saying. Money is not the only answer here. She does this for nothing. She's a voluntary worker, and there are many parents and grandparents, as Nanaya has pointed out, that take up the slack when our children are being victimised and abused. And we need to strive for independence, not codependence, on the state. And I take all of her points to heart because I think she makes some valid points. And I'm very concerned about this paper for the levels of Māori who are being subject to abuse in our system. Now, 22% of New Zealand's young people under the age of 20 are Māori. 56% or 58% of the children in SIF's care are Māori. This has a huge impact on our people, and we need to do something. But we have been trying with previous governments and with this government to interact, as the Minister pointed out in question time today, through iwi and cultural involvement, because our young people need to be secure in their language, culture and identity. It helps them grow independent and strong and face up to some of the struggling issues that they face. Now, that Puo o Te Atatū report that came out in 1988, it actually said, and I'm just going to quote actually from this because I think this is fundamental. It says, funding should be directed to mātua whāngai so that they can channel direct to the families rather than going through the rigmarole from one social welfare to another at the time. If the program is to get the support of the people, then it must come back to the whānau. The whānau base, and when I say that it must come back with all accountability. That was a quote spoken from the group who put Te Puao Te Atatū together. Now, they had a major influence in the development of the Children and Young Persons and Their Families Act in 1989. And they made a whole lot of recommendations. The Children and Young Persons Family Whānau Hapu Iwi group should participate in making the decisions. More and more we've seen over recent times that is no longer happening, that actually has been taken off marae, that our young people and our families who are most vulnerable are being separated from their cultural connection. We need to ensure that that continues to happen. Some developments have occurred within welfare system to increase responsiveness to Māori. Whānau Ora provides a unique opportunity to do that, and I welcome the engagement with the Minister that she has offered to ensure that that continues and grows. Kia ora.
I call Chris Hipkins.